Good evening, I'm Brett Baer. Congressional Republicans are basking in the glow of a political touchdown in the form of tax reform legislation, but now they're trying to kick the extra point by ramming through a temporary funding bill to avoid a potentially momentum-busting government shutdown. Correspondent Peter Doocy tells us where we are right now from Capitol Hill. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Brett. We've been watching as lawmakers file down the steps of the House, where that short-term budget just sailed on through with the help of 13 Democratic members who voted yes. 16 Republicans broke with the party and voted no. So now it's up to the Senate to stop a shutdown.
The American people are counting on Congress.
If the Senate okays the short-term budget just approved by the House by 11:59 tomorrow night, almost every federal program stays funded at current spending levels till January 19th, with the exception of a handful of Pentagon programs that get small budget increases. That's even though some Republicans wish the military got a beefier boost.
Anytime you're talking about deficits and just extending doing a continuing resolution, it's hard because, one, it hurts our defense. And so I think the area that's bothering us the most is our military is going to get their 33rd CR in a decade after sequester cuts, and our military's readiness is hurting.
The continuing resolution also puts automatic Medicare cuts on the shelf until 2019 and funds the Children's Health Insurance Program through March. Both those provisions enjoy broad bipartisan support, but Democrats, upset they didn't have much of a say in the debate, are forcing Republicans to go it alone.
If you've got the votes, you don't have to talk to us. But if you don't have the votes, we really need to come together in a bipartisan way to be the responsible stewards of this government.
A sore spot for one senator in this budget, the reauthorization of an NSA spying tool, FISA Section 702.
The short-term extension is okay. I will absolutely filibuster any long-term extension. They try to do it for a year, they try to do it for 4 years, or they try to do it forever, which some of them want. There needs to be more oversight.
Not in the short-term budget, a DACA fix. So, despite the demands of Democratic lawmakers, there's no new resolution for people brought to this country illegally as children.
I don't think in his heart that the president intended to hurt these people in the very cruel way that they are being hurt by the actions that are being taken.
Uncharacteristically quiet about his DACA strategy today, Senator Chuck Schumer, who seems content using DACA as leverage over Republicans next time there's a shutdown fight in January, days before the State of the Union.
We're not talking about that issue until we see what the House does.
One retiring Republican, Congressman Charlie Dent, says he's seen things in his 7 terms that give him confidence a shutdown can be avoided.
There'll be drama, there'll be chaos, there'll be yelling and screaming, and then we'll avert a shutdown. You know, but that's what happens. Unfortunately, it shouldn't be this way.
There may be trouble brewing in the Senate tonight for $81 billion worth of government assistance for the victims of hurricanes and wildfires. It needed Democratic support to pass in the House, and conservatives are very wary of this package because the $81 billion in new spending is not offset by any cuts elsewhere. Brett?
And Peter, because everybody wants to get out of town, the Senate could speed this thing up. It could happen during this hour, right?
It could happen within the next hour or so, but no such thing as a sure thing, Brett.
That's right. All right, Peter Doocy live on the Hill. Peter, thank you.